Welcome back. This is MMA Socialist #1 Carcino here with MMARICK. We have tracked him down with his largely long list of busy activities. He's tracking down MMA fighters, getting interviews, interviewing trainers, coaches, midgets who saw them walk past. We got him right here on live, on the phone. So, MMA Rick, tell us what's coming up next. We heard the interview with Guida. What's he's got coming up on the menu?
It was a nice little tidbit with him. He's got that fight coming up in 2 weeks against Anthony Pettis. We just talked about how his training camp was going with Greg Jackson and his game plan and what he's got going on. I guess he just opened up a gym on the south side of Chicago, the south suburb. After the fight, hopefully we're going to get an interview back with him, a follow-up in person at his gym. And Cain Velasquez, I guess, UFC heavyweight champ, is going to be making an appearance there for a seminar. So hopefully we'll end up getting an interview with him too as well.
Okay, well that sounds great. We got a female MMA champion. Well, I don't know if she's champion yet because you know more than me. What's her name? Hargit, and she had a fight coming up for the XFO.
Felicia Harding for the XFO. Yeah, she's the women's champ over there. Local resident to Chicago, at least to the Chicagoland area. Yeah, she's pretty dynamite.
Okay, because I think she was her and Boss Rutan was at the Flow MMA, and I know that's like your old workout facility. You used to go there and work out.
Yeah, Flow Mixed Martial Arts out in Palatine. Great, they got Completo, which is Brock Lesnar's jiu-jitsu coach, is out there. You've got Ash, who's their kickboxing coach. Great place. I went there for a little while. But yeah, it was a nice facility. Very nice facility.
Okay, well, I want to get a quick breakdown or run-through of next weekend, 129 UFC, because I believe personally that this is the greatest challenge GSP has faced since he's had the belt. So, I want you to kind of analyze all the fights and run down at least the top 3 fights of the night that you're looking forward to and kind of give an analysis on them.
Alright, first off, we'll start off with probably one of the saddest moments in UFC history, the retiring of Randy Couture.
Yeah.
Captain America, once again, is at the age of, 43, 44 now?
Yeah.
He's going to go in and fight Leon Machida, which is going to be a hard guy to get a hold of. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. If Leon Machida can stay away and be able to stick to his striking, I think he might have a little bit of an advantage, but Randy's got that all-American wrestling kind of background, and I mean, he's the natural. I mean, the guy has defeated people that we never thought that he was ever going to defeat. You know, and especially he's put age as of nothing to fighters as far as, stamina and longevity and everything. Every kind of thought that we had in that behind, past us. I think that's going to be an exciting fight, definitely, but it's going to be a sad day in mixed martial arts history for the retiring of him. One fight that I'm extremely excited about is the Jose Aldo Mark Hominick fight. I mean, both of those guys, Jose Aldo, the guy has just ran through everybody. I mean, everybody. And Mark Hominick is no joke, though. I mean, the guy is a great striker. He's got a good sprawl. He can keep things up on his feet. He's got a little bit of good wrestling. I have to go with Jose Aldo on this. I just think the guy is in his prime right now. Nobody's been able to figure out his game. He is upset, not upset, but defeated everybody that he's gone against. And then, of course, there's the GSP and Jake Shields fight, which, honestly, this is a toss-up to me. Jake Shields, 6 years undefeated. The guy has held championships in almost every single organization besides the UFC. And the fact that the guy's fought in 2 different weight classes, too, as well. The guy isn't just a welterweight here. He's a middleweight. He's a welterweight. Look at his fight with Dan Henderson.
Yeah, he took,
like this
guy said, he took him down.
Won all 3 rounds, or won all the rounds, but all 5 rounds. But yeah, I'm excited to see that fight. I think that GSP can keep it on its feet and use his good wrestling. not let it go to the ground, and if it does go to the ground, he stays on top, which is still dangerous against Jake Shields. He has the advantage. Shields, his boxing keeps getting better and better. His striking keeps improving fight after fight after fight. He's got a great camp out there with Cesar Gracie. He has some of the best training partners that you can get. And if it goes to the ground, I have to give a little bit of an advantage to Jake Shields. I mean, the one defeat that we have seen, of one of the two defeats that GSP has had is, submission to Van Hughes. So his ground game, I don't think he's fought an opponent like this before. This is going to be a completely exciting and new ground for both fighters.
Wow, man, I'm picking Shields right now because he's a 4-1 underdog. So I put $500 down on Shields. So
you put a nickel down on Shields. So
yep. So if Shields win, like they said, right now I'm buying. So.
Well, this is a toss-up to me. It's a coin flip. I think both guys have exactly the what it takes to actually both win this fight. GSP's probably been one of the most dominant welterweights besides Matt Hughes that we have seen. But we'll see if his legacy continues.
Okay. Well, you had a couple of questions here from a couple of the fans here. We want to let them get in and get their questions in before we make the video like way too long. And they said, what would be the best strategy that GSP can use against Jake Shields?
Again, it's to avoid the ground game. I mean, one of the most lethal people in jiu-jitsu in mixed martial arts right now. You definitely keep it away from his home, his ground game. That's what he's most comfortable with. Keep it away from there. You got to hit his range, keep it at a distance, stick and move, and keep it on his feet and be able to pick him apart by his punches and kicks and his great striking that he's evolved into. That's probably what I would say is the best strategy that you could probably have. You go to the ground, you're just asking for it with Jake Shields. And we've seen that time and time and time again.
Okay. And we got right here, they got Mayhem Miller going against Aaron Simpson, supposed to be in a return at UFC 132. This guy named Kyle.
I read that this morning that they're going to they re-sign Mayhem Miller.
Yeah, so.
Which is great because I would love to see the rematch between Jake Shields and Jason Mayhem Miller. Miller, we all know, is a showman. He likes to put on a show. The guy can take some punishment. You saw that in his fight with GSP last time he was in the UFC. The guy can take some punishment and he puts on a great show. The guy will not stop fighting. I'm excited to see him back in the UFC.
Okay, well, I already guessed. Well, the question was he going to, what was his chances of beating Aaron Simpson? But I guess now we already know Aaron Simpson don't have a shot.
Aaron Simpson, is a tough fighter. He's a good wrestler. He's got good hands. He's got the power behind his strikes. We've seen that in a couple of his fights. It's going to be a good fight. Aaron Simpson, got to keep it away from the ground with Mayhem. Mayhem can actually has some great jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I just think because of experience and overall being in the big show and everything like that, I think Mayhem's got this.
Okay. I don't know who this guy is. Josh Thompson? I don't know who he is.
Yeah, Josh Thompson. He was probably one of the best lightweights for a while. He held the Strikeforce title for a little bit. He had a great fight against Steve Edwards back in UFC, which was one of the highlight flying kicks that knocked him out. But Josh is a great fighter.
Okay, well, that great fighter, they wanted me to ask you to give your thoughts on the guy as far as a person and everything else. So you already done that. Then you've already answered a couple of these questions. And then right now they're talking about Anderson Silva not having any interest right now in fighting Yushin Okami. Is it because he's scared he would lose, or he looks at this as it's not an interesting fight at this time?
I honestly, take a look at Yushin Okami. Nothing to take away from him. He's one of the best 185-pounders out there. But he's not that exciting of a fighter. If you take a look at his fight with Nate Marquardt, you know, he just barely won that fight. Barely won that fight. And that was taking it into his game, you know, making it more of a boring, long, drawn-out fight, just going point. I just don't think Anderson Silva really sees a challenge, and he likes to have a challenge, somebody that he's going to actually give him some kind of competition. And I don't think that Anderson sees it with him. That's the reason why he probably feels that way.
All right, we're going to cut this right now because it's probably going too long. We're going to do this again, and we're going to sit down and get more results after 129. And then we'll talk about Bellator 42 that's coming on tonight. We'll go through and do a recap with MMA Rick.